I'm Bob Harris for Durman Engineered Products. Several years ago, Durman produced a series of videos that were how-to videos on the complete Durman system. One of those videos was the Lumiere decorative epoxy system, which got an overwhelming response. A lot of people wanted to see more of that system, and so we just now produced a series of videos that's going to demonstrate the Lumiere decorative epoxy coating system. Basically, we've categorized it into 5 different series. Each series will include 3 color options. Please understand, this is not a how-to video. It's more of an inspirational video to help you come up with some color inspiration and witness some of the unbelievable color effects that you can do with the Lumiere system. So each of those will also, the video series will also spell out where these applications could be used. For example, a restaurant, a high-end bar, tenant improvement, retail outlet, museums, tattoo shops. So enjoy the videos and have fun with the Lumiere decorative epoxy system. Our next 3 color combinations are for video series number 4. These colors would really lend themselves to office spaces, art galleries, clothing stores. I've seen a lot of these color combinations being used in those arenas. So we're going to be using denim and sterling as our colors. And again, no rhyme or reason. You could simply pour ribbons and use texture rollers or magic trowels. In this case, we'll probably just blend the colors here. I'll pour the sterling down first. Simply use a magic trowel to disperse it. Possibly consider coming in with our denim. Now this denim is a really beautiful color. It's kind of a silver blue, which will go good with our base color that you see here. This is what we would consider kind of a basic application. And usually in a large retail environment, that you're only going to be putting 2 colors down anyways. Quick, easy, but it produces some very elegant looks. Very nice colors here. On a color combination like this, because it's very subtle, some clients or consumers don't want a lot of movement on a floor. I would probably just put it down like you see here, and then when you get all the surface area covered, leave it. In other words, don't even consider the whole spritzing process with solvents like we've demonstrated on a few of the other videos. Just leave this real soft, real subtle. And this by itself is a really elegant, classical look. Again, it's just the weight of the magic trowel. I'm barely pushing down on this. All right. Our second color combination for video series number 4, which again is good for office spaces, art galleries, and clothing stores, is going to consist of a base color of mother of pearl, followed by some very, very subtle accents of khaki. So we highly recommend that you do your own experimenting, because once you put too much of your secondary or your accent color, it's difficult to go backwards. So develop your technique and your process before you go actually out on your finished floor. So we'll put it down consistently with the magic trowel here. Now, this is a color, if it's going to be your predominant color, that you may want to consider priming your boards with this color of metallic in the actual priming system in the EO2. And the reason for that is because this is really difficult to cover over the black that you see here. Blacks work great on a high percentage or a majority of the metallic colors, the ones that are really bold and rich in color, such as copper, bronze, brass, purples, greens, blues. However, it's difficult to cover the black base with such a light metallic color. So you may want to consider using the actual mother of pearl in the EO2 as a prime system first. Also, you might want to boost your pigment load, meaning put additional mother of pearl in this body coat that you see us using here. You know, not all the times is it a bad thing also to have your base color show through. Sometimes we'll do that, and we'll demonstrate it on another video series where we'll mix clear epoxy and just pour ribbons of clear epoxy and then blend the metallic colors into the clear. And what that does is the clear preserves your base color, which in this case would be black. So we're kind of borderline on this sample board in terms of having enough of a covering power to kind of overtake the black. So in this case, what we'll do is we'll kind of blend it together using a little bit more of the khaki color than we really wanted to. But you'll see these are really nice color combinations to work with. Very subtle, nothing glaring, nothing super busy or loud with these color combinations. They work very nice together. So you can choose to keep it linear like you see me using here. Really simple on an actual floor to do. You just have your magic trowel attached to a handle, and you just walk from one side to the other if you want it in a linear pattern to create this veining effect. You don't have to though. You can come in here and blend in a random fashion like you see here. But this is a very subtle look using the mother of pearl and the khaki. Great for the applications that we talked about in video series number 4. You don't actually out on a floor, you don't ever want to stop like that, because that you can see what happens. So you want to, if you're working out on a floor, have a rag so you can go right into a rag and wipe it clean. You don't ever want to stop and start out in the middle of a floor, because it's going to create that kind of an effect. Very subtle, but yet elegant. Our third and final color combination for video series number 4, again, which is for office spaces, art galleries, and clothing stores, is going to consist of Caribbean blue and Galaxy blue. If you're doing a large application, I've seen these color combinations in a pool store, for example, like they have a lobby or a showroom. They want to have the look and the feel of water, basically. You can use color combinations like this, and you're just going to mix large volume, buckets, and just dump ribbons right across the floor like this. If you wanted to kind of have a little bit of movement, something like this, you could certainly do that. And then followed by your Galaxy blue. So if you could imagine now on a larger floor, you're simply out on your spike shoes or your cleats, and you're just walking directionally with a magic trowel on a pole or a handle, and you're just giving it this kind of an effect. Or believe it or not, we have in fact hand troweled large jobs. Our first metallic job we ever did was back in 2001. We did a 5,000 square foot restaurant floor with metallics, coppers, and bronzes, and we hand troweled the whole floor. Simple, fast, two basic colors to create a pretty easy finish that somewhat has the look and the feel of water. Now again, there are other techniques if you really wanted to make it look like water, where you could use a third or fourth blue, and we've done a couple samples where we've created what looks like the ocean, which required a lot of white to get it to have the illusion of a wave that's kind of rolling and then certainly crashing down. So that's a quick and easy approach here to creating a variation using blues. Now that you've completed your Lumiere Designer epoxy coating system, it's time to put a top coat or a clear coat over the top to preserve this canvas. Keep in mind, the Lumiere by itself is 100% solids epoxy, which really is not scuff or abrasion resistant. So for that reason, we want to use one of the 4 Duraman coating systems over the top of that to preserve it. If you're within a 24-hour time frame, in other words, when you've applied the Lumiere, you can come back within 24 hours, and assuming you don't have any outgassing bubbles or imperfections, you could clear coat right over the top without abrading the surface. However, if you exceed that 24-hour window of opportunity, you're going to need to scuff it up or sand it. Basically, you want to degloss it and level out any blisters or bubbles or outgassing voids that you may have. Generally, a 100 screen on the bottom of a floor machine. For more information on that, you can visit the Duraman website and watch the previous videos that we shot on how to prepare the surface for your coating application. The 4 systems that we're going to be demonstrating for these video series is the Purdue P98, which is a high solids, 98% solids polyaspartic. You can also get their version of this in a 72% solids, which is a little bit lower. What's the difference? The difference is the higher solids is going to stand up to scuffing and scratching in high traffic areas. So other consideration is the project budget, for example. You know, if you have a little bit of a lower budget, the lower solids, the P72 is going to be a little bit more cost effective than the higher solids. We're going to also be demonstrating the Purdue U90, which is a moisture cured high solids polyurethane system. Now, the fact that it is moisture cured, you want to let the Lumiere cure a minimum of 18 hours. Don't apply this product prior to that 18-hour window. The fact that it is moisture cured, if there's any moisture that's trying to come out of that system, it could actually flash set this off. So 18 hours minimum. Really a great product, high gloss, very, very good scuff and scratch and abrasion resistance. This product is used in aggressive environments like airport or airplane hangars, for example, malls, that thing, where they want optimum performance. Also, we're going to get into the water-based system that Duraman offers. First of which is U46, which is a water-based glossed polyurethane. Now, they also have a version in matte, which is referred to as the U45. So you can get both systems water-based, virtually no odor. Really great too if odor is a concern. Perhaps you're working in an enclosed area, maybe it's a home. residential home and you can't have an odor, great systems to consider, which is the U46 and the U45.